Dr. Snuggles, friend of the animal world. Dr. Snuggles, dreaming of better tomorrow. Dr. Snuggles, you better stop working today. Dr. Snuggles, flying away to the stars. Dr. Snuggles, finding a path to the rainbow. Dr. Snuggles, build us a clever machine.
Miss Nettles was spring cleaning, with Matilda Junkbottom to help her. She went from room to room, dusting and polishing, until everything shone like new. Of course, Nobby Mouse hated things to be clean and tidy. So he did his best, or rather worst, to upset poor Miss Nettles.
I'm looking for the house of Dr. Snuggles.
Just keep going. That way you'll come to it. Gracias, senor. Hey, I'm Dr. Snuggles.
Shoo! Shoo, I say!
Good morning, Miss Nettles.
How do you know my name?
Everyone has heard of the famous Miss Nettles, housekeeper to the great inventor, Dr. Snuggles.
What can I do for you?
I want to sell you a carpet.
No, thanks.
But you haven't seen them yet.
They are magnifique.
They are the finest in the world.
Oh. Eh?
This one's from Turkey. And this from India. And finally, one from China.
But I don't want a carpet.
Perhaps something smaller. From Spain. I've been looking for the right home for a long time. He obviously likes you, so if you like, you can have him as a present.
A present?
That is what he said.
Please accept him.
Auf Wiedersehen. Atulu.
So far, so good.
You are a genius, Professor Emerald. A genius.
Heliototo Gabalus.
I was on my way home to find out what that strange person wanted from me.
Are your shoes clean?
A new carpet?
A present?
Good gracious.
Get off! Get off! Oh,
A flying carpet. I simply had to try it myself. I'm sure you'd feel the same way. After all, it's not every day you get the chance to fly on a magic carpet. Come on, Miss Nettles.
certainly not.
Dennis? Yep. Hugo?
It's the only way to fly.
What nonsense!
Here we go.
It's not Dr. Snuggles I want.
Your soup's getting cold.
Oh, dear, I am sorry. It really is most exciting, Miss Nettles.
Carpets aren't meant to fly. It's unnatural.
It's not going to be easy.
What isn't?
Getting Miss Nettles on the carpet.
Why do you want the Miss Nettles on the carpet?
To capture her, of course.
Why do you want to capture her?
Because I want a housekeeper.
Miss Nettles, Miss Nettles, Miss Nettles.
It's the treacle tree.
Will you be quiet, Trickle Tree? We're having our lunch.
But Miss Nettles,
Now!
Leave it down! Leave it down!
Bring back Miss Nettles at once.
We've got her.
Congratulations, Professor.
Put me down!
Don't worry, Miss Nettles. You are in very safe hands. I am Professor Erasmus Emerald, and this is my bush baby, Horner.
Enchanté, mademoiselle.
I'm the most wicked magician in the whole world, and I need a housekeeper.
She's been kidnapped.
Kidnapped? Stop thief! Stop thief!
This is an outrage!
Enemy bird approaching.
Helio Toto Gabalus! Oh! Let's get out of here! I'm not chicken! Oh dear, poor Miss Nettles.
Perhaps the multi-whereabout machine might help me find Miss Nettles. The only thing I could find that belonged to Miss Nettles was an old duster. I hoped the machine would be able to tell me something, at least. Well, it was no use. Either the multi-whereabouts machine needed mending, or else Professor Emerald had taken Miss Nettles so far away he was out of range.
Cheer up, Doctor. We'll get her back.
There was only one answer. We'll have to ask the Cosmic Cat.
The Cosmic Cat? What on earth is that?
As a feline fortune teller, he can tell you the future. Come on, let's go. I was sure that he'd know just what had happened to poor Miss Nettles. The Cosmic Cat lives with Granny Toots, one of my oldest and dearest friends. She lives in this house, which is actually built into the side of the great beech tree, and she is surrounded by black cats and white cats, ginger cats and tabby cats and tortoiseshell cats and Persian cats and Siamese cats. When they are sick, she nurses them. She's even turned her greenhouse into a hospital. Where was I? Oh, yes, the Cosmic Cat. Now, how did he come to be there? One night, when Granny Toots and I were chatting about this and that, you know, like old friends do, there was an awful crash outside.
Take me to your leader.
It was the amazing Cosmic Cat.
You are Dr. Snuggles, and you are Granny Toots.
He knows all about us. So you see, if anyone could tell me where that wicked Professor Emerald had taken Miss Nettles, it was the amazing Cosmic Cat. Granny Toots's house was rather far away from my little house. Good afternoon, Granny.
I knew you were coming.
You knew? How did you know?
The Cosmic Cat told me.
You see?
Amazing.
Incredible.
Fantastic. Where is he?
Here. Miss Nettles, you have come about Miss Nettles.
What?
Oh.
I can't see her.
Well,
Of course, what he meant was he could see Miss Nettles in his mind's eye, almost as if he was dreaming about her.
Look into my eyes, Doctor. Wow.
I did as he asked, and gazed deeply into his pale yellow eyes, deeper and deeper, and then I could see Miss Nettles.
Where are we? I said, where are we?
The Viridian Sea.
Seaweed Castle ahead.
Welcome to Seaweed Castle, Miss Nettles. Your new home.
Well, Doctor, what did you say?
Seaweed Castle,
Where is it?
in the middle of the Viridian Sea.
Is it far?
How would I find Seaweed Castle and rescue poor Miss Nettles from Professor Emerald?
We'll need a boat.
And a map.
We'll need all kinds of things.
You'd better get started.
Granny Toots was right. There was so much to do, and sitting around was not the way to do it. So off we went to Rickety Rick. Open up, Rick. The mice were eager to help.
We're going to build a boat.
Dennis got the badger graph ready. He could not help it. It would have to be a large sort of boat. After all, we didn't know how long the journey would take us. It was a lovely big boat, but what were we going to make it with? To build a big boat would need such a lot of wood. And I couldn't chop down any of my tree friends, even for Miss Nettles.
Morning, Dr. Snuggles. What's the trouble?
I've got to build a boat.
Build a boat? There's no need to build a boat.
Eh?
You've got a boat already. Rick!
Excuse me, Rick. Could you turn yourself into a boat?
Of course I could, with a bit of help.
Splendid. Outside, everyone. Rick's going to turn himself into a boat.
Mind you, I've never done this before.
There's a first time for everything. He took off his roof and rearranged his walls. He blocked up his windows and pulled up his floor. And finally, he rolled himself over.
I've done all I can. The rest is up to you.
Okay, all the way.
Hand it back to me. I'll get you. Now you've had it. Next time I'll get you.
Hello, Matilda. Rickety Rick was changed completely. We had turned him into the good ship Rickety Rick, and with his help we would find Miss Nettles.
What about sails?
We won't need them. Rickety Rick will row all by himself. How would we launch Rick? We were a long way from the sea. Oh, never mind. I would solve that problem after a good night's sleep. We had to get Rickety Rick to the sea. But how?
Wheels,
Did you say something?
wheels.
Oh,
You need wheels.
The umbrella was right as usual. But where were we going to find wheels big enough for Rickety Rick?
We must have a wheel hunt.
Everyone started looking for wheels. They searched all over. Dennis found one, but it wasn't big enough.
Here.
Right there.
Aren't you that Dr. Snuggles?
Why, yes, my friend, I'm Snuggles. What can I do for you?
Nothing. Nobody cares what happens to me. Everybody left this place and left everything behind, including me.
He was terribly thin. Most of his stuffing had come out and been blown away by the wind.
You see, there's not much of me left.
There was a haystack in the corner of the field. so I hopped over to get some fresh stuffing for him. I had found the wheels, but first took care of the scarecrow. Even with Matilda to help us, it took a great deal of hard work before we finally fixed the last wheel to Rickety Rick. And then we were ready. We loaded Rickety Rick with everything we thought we might need. All aboard! Time to go.
I'm a terrible sailor. I'll be ill.
You'll be fine. Don't worry so.
Look out!
We were on our way to the sea. Matilda pulled the good ship Rickety Rick through the countryside. Everyone cheered us on our way and wished us luck and a safe voyage. On and on we went, past fields full of corn and sheep and flowers, until Matilda reached a very, very steep hill. A lighthouse. It could mean only one thing. We had nearly reached the sea. Go on, Matilda, you can do it.
Sea ahoy!
Look! It's working.
That'll teach you to be naughty.
Jump, Matilda! Jump!
Jump!
We were safely on our way. The next day, the wind dropped and we lay upon the water as still as a leaf on a lily pond. Rickety was exhausted. Dennis whistled for a wind, but as we didn't have a sail anymore, a wind wouldn't have helped. Then suddenly, I had the answer. The good ship Rickety Rick would be driven by junk bottom power. Come on, Matilda.
Here we are.
Paddle, Matilda, paddle.
Come on, you motorized dustbin, paddle.
Like this.
No, with your legs, Matilda, with your legs, dear. Faster, faster. Not that fast. That's perfect. With Matilda behind us, we didn't need any sails. We ran into storms that lasted for days.
The life on the ocean wave, you can have it.
And then, one morning, I began to notice something was different. Look, the sea is as green as grass. All hands on deck.
All hands on deck.
Huh? Oh, no.
All hands on deck.
Is there no peace?
We have reached the Viridian Sea, I believe.
Oh,
Castle ahoy!
Hugo steered Rickety Rick carefully through the Viridian Sea. And suddenly, there it was, Seaweed Castle, rising out of the sea like a nasty dream. Somewhere inside was poor Miss Nettles, hard at work for the evil Professor Emerald.
You were late for breakfast this morning. Look at your shoes. They're a disgrace. And when did you clean your teeth? You can't remember, can you? You're the dirtiest, most untidy man. Dr. Snuggles.
Miss Nettles, we have come to rescue you.
Oh, yes. Please rescue her. I'll give you anything if you'll just rescue her. She's making my life so miserable. I have to eat carrots. Well, I hate carrots. I have to be tidy and wipe my feet when I come into the castle. Please, please rescue her, Dr. Snuggles.
Miss Nettles had been more than a match for Professor Emerald, and he was grateful to us for arriving when we did.
Goodbye.
Bon voyage, arrivederci, gnädige Fräulein. Goodbye and so long. So we set course for home. We had sailed halfway round the world, and we had rescued Miss Nettles.